Hello everyone, and welcome to the Talks a Lot Boys. I'm your host, my name is Tyler, and I am once again joined by the boys. We've got Brennan.
What's going on, folks?
And we've got Kyle.
How's it going, guys?
And today is a great day, because today a really freaking good album has been released to the masses. And that, of course, if you've read the title of this video, is Slow Bloom by the Home Team.
Woo!
And man, this album not only met my expectations, but surpassed them by like a mile. Like this shit was great. I loved this album, dude. Like I adore this album. It was incredible. I don't think I have any negative notes at all for the entirety of this album. I loved every song. It's just rare, and it's great. It's incredible. And I know that you guys are not as versed in this band as I am. I'm not even like super well versed in this band. I know a couple other popular songs from back in the day, and I've been hotly anticipating this album since they've been releasing some dope ass singles over the past few months. But you guys are more in the dark with these guys. I know Kyle, you said earlier that you had no ambition to even listen to this album because you didn't know who they were.
Not at all. Literally, you texted us and you were like, hey, we should totally do this Home Team album. It's like really good. And I was like, oh, fuck. I gotta like go out of my way to listen to this album. Who the fuck are these guys? What the hell is this? I pulled it up on my phone. Literally the first two songs, I was like going around my house doing stuff, just listening to it on like speaker. And I got to the third song, I was like, wake the fuck up. And I went back, I started over with like headphones in and everything. I was just like, oh boy, let's go. And I was just so into it from there on out, dude.
Hell yeah, man. It was fucking awesome. Brennan, what did you think of this record?
Man, I gotta say, I have no idea who this vocalist is, but he fucking kills it.
Hell yeah,
like,
man.
Oh, I mean, it's like, it's one of those things, like, whenever a vocalist is really good at, like, bringing in falsetto, like, all the time, and, like, like utilizing it to his advantage, like, that's a tool in the tool belt. And it's, like, every song, like, he just, like incorporates that in, like, a chorus or, like, a verse or something, and it's just, like, ooh, god damn, dude. Bringing the fucking spice, like
hell yeah, man.
But this whole record's full of that from top to bottom. I mean, the features both killed it. I mean, it was holy shit. This record slaps for sure.
Hell yeah, dude. To quote your text message from earlier, this album fucking rips.
It totally does.
Yeah, this is definitely an album of the year contender for me personally. I love it. I'm all about it. And as we do on the show, this is probably going to be a painful process today, since there are no stickers on this album. But we are going to do what we always do here. We are going to rank every single song on this album from worst to first. I don't even know where we're going to start, but I'm gonna list off everything we have to work with, and then we're gonna just try to hash this out somehow. So here are the songs in question. First is Move It or Lose It. Second is Right Through Me. Third, Watching All Your Friends Get Rich. Fourth is Eat You Up. Fifth is Scary Movies. Sixth is Slow Bloom. 7 is Another Night Alone With You. 8, Who Do You Know Here. 9 is On. 10 is Sales. And 11 is Danger. I don't know where to start, but something has to be at the bottom. And I don't know what it is. Someone throw something out. Where are we starting?
Before we have to be like incredibly negative, and by that I mean nitpicky, because it's really not negative. I'd just like to appreciate, because I know you mentioned it, Brennan, these features on this album are incredible. They got Yvette Young and fucking Veil of Maya on two of these fucking
Veil
tracks.
of Maya threw me for a fucking loop.
No, it's just so out of left field, and I'm like,
this
it's like this band that I've literally barely heard of before today and like the lead up to this album coming out. Just picks up these two people that I've been like big fans of, like like we've been talking about hotly over the last couple months, especially, and it's like, whoa, like awesome, and I fuck it like. Also, their features fucking kill it. Like, it's so good.
For sure.
So, I mean, before we have to make a decision on where to go to the bottom, I want to talk about something else that was great, because It needs to be appreciated because more
Are
so than
you-
sometimes as well on other albums, his features kill it.
Hell yeah. Are you saying that because you're going to immediately bitch about how Danger fades out at the end? Because we know
No.
that you hate when songs do that.
Glad you pulled out one of the only negatives I have about this album.
I knew when I heard it, I was like, Kyle's gonna fucking bitch about this after his tirade on the Wage War album.
You know what? I thought about it,
yeah.
right? And I even talked to you about it a little bit too, Tyler. And it's like, with that Wage War album, I got really angry about that fade out. And you know what? It's because I was grasping for literally fucking anything with that album.
Yes.
Because I just needed something to be cool. And I felt like a moment of like hope at the beginning of that last song. It was like, this is kind of cool. They're doing some cool stuff. And then they just like threw it away because they just gave up at the end. I was like, what the fuck? With this song though, the rest of the song, every other moment of that song until it starts to fade out, I adore. It's so good. Phenomenal. And so that does not take away enough for me to want it to even be possibly even the bottom half of this album, if I'm being honest with you. That's how much I like the rest of the song.
Cool.
Don't know if that's
I
a hot
agree with that sentiment.
Cool.
Because I
Great.
think that song slaps
Yes.
super hard.
I also
yeah.
think it slaps. I definitely I shall take off a half of a point mentally for the fade out because I'm sad that they didn't do something really cool to end it with as much cool shit happening in the rest of this album. But the rest of the song gives it a plus 1,000 points. So I will never be referencing this point system again because I know that's going to get convoluted. And yeah, we'll move on. What else do we want at the bottom?
Okay, you say
This
what
one's
else? We haven't listed anything yet.
Yeah,
Could potentially take the
it's
bottom
just
spot.
the one that we talked about, and it can't be. So,
Brennan,
I
you have
will
any
say-
ideas? Anything that stands out to you as being weaker than anything else?
What do you think, Brennan?
I mean, I guess maybe like I keep thinking like Eat You Up and Scary Movies should be towards the bottom. I mean, maybe not
Yeah.
dead bottom. I mean, maybe. I mean, this album, like, because that's tough. Because both these songs are good, but like, I don't feel like they do a lot. There is one song. I'm trying to think which one it is. Oh, Who Do You Know Here? Because for the most part, the song is kind of just the same chord progression, just given to you in like different flavors.
I had that exact same note.
Yeah, like because it literally like that part of the song doesn't change at all for like the duration of the track, and like it's like for me, like listening to this a couple times, like it seemed like the vocalist was doing his damnedest to try to like get this song off the ground, but like the fact that it wasn't really a change up kind of like kept it there.
Yeah, like
so I'd probably
same,
up?
bro. I was thinking
That's
the
fair.
same thing. Like I kind of worded it a little differently, but like it feels like at the beginning, like the first like before that first chorus in Who Do You Know Here, it feels like something's about to happen because the vocals are doing these cool things and the chord progression, the instrumentals aren't really changing a lot, and then it just goes into the chorus. And I was like, oh, I was kind of thinking something was about to happen here, like because the vocals are like really like stepping it up here. And then it kind of backs off, goes to that little clapping section, which is cool. I do really like that. It was a change up that I did enjoy. And I was like, okay, so this song, like, it has something like more to offer than like this one chord progression into a chorus, you know?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it did do like the really cool harmony bit with like the Who Do You Know Here, like in the background in the last chorus,
yeah.
going up to the end. That was incredible. I fucking love that. But I will say, going back to what we were saying, is that like it does kind of feel like instrumentally it doesn't really do as much as some of the other ones. How you were saying with the chord progression, it's kind of like the same chord progression kind of just messed around with, which is a cool idea. But in an album where so many things, like they try these wacky things, these horns come in all over the place in some other songs, the fact that this one only does do like this one kind of chord progression thing and doesn't do a lot of crazy instrumentals, I do think kind of like would pull it down to the bottom for me.
Yeah, and I can agree. The three songs that Brennan listed are actually the three I think that are probably going to take the bottom spots. And like, none of them are bad at all. It's just like the other songs are so fucking good that these are the ones that fell a little flatter to me. And yeah, I can agree with everything you said for Who Do You Know Here? Because the only real instrumental bits that really stood out to me at all were like the snaps, where it was kind of like going back and forth between like both sides. Was really cool. And like around like 150-ish, like it sounded like the guitar kind of mirrored like the riff from the first song, which I thought was like kind of a neat touch. But like overall, like those two things were neat, but some of these other songs do so much more. And
For sure.
So I
Oh, yeah.
I can agree. I think this one might be the bottom.
I also think that like there had to be songs that didn't hit the complex peak that like
Right,
a lot of
yeah.
the other songs do. It's impressive how many do have that like level of complexity in them,
Mhm.
and there's like these really crazy cool ideas. The fact that
Yeah.
this one does some cool things is a lot of props already.
Yeah.
It's just something had to be here. I do think this one is it.
Yeah.
The only other one that I kind of would like to push towards also maybe being the bottom one would be Scary Movies personally. And I liked a lot of what Scary Movies does. My biggest takeaway is that it's like just over 2 minutes, and I just wish it was so much longer. Like I feel like they could have done more with Scary Movies. It might be the shortest on the album. I'm not super sure about that. But
I think On is the shortest.
On is? That's unfortunate.
No, no. Scary
Is it
Movies
not?
is.
Oh, is Scary
On's
Movie shorter? Okay.
2.5 minutes.
Okay.
Scary Movie's only 2:09.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Scary Movies 2.9. What was On? Yeah, 2.5.
Yeah, 2.5.
yeah.
Yeah.
Just over 2.5. Yeah, I don't know, because like I like a lot of like the really cool like little spooky kind of instrumentals they throw in everywhere. Like they're like kind of moments where you get that kind of vibe from it, and like that's really clever. That's really cool. I want more of it, and I don't understand why. Like, and I mean, like I shouldn't say I don't understand why they'd let it be 2 minutes. Like obviously they wrote it, and that's where it ended. But I just kind of wish it would have gone on for even like another 30 seconds, and I could have just like experienced like maybe more play on that. That little moment where it just all breaks out and you hear like in the background. Just, like, I fucking love
It was
that.
a nice touch.
Like I don't know, just like so many of the harmonies are really good. Like the actual beat of it's really groovy, and the fact that they kind of like do take those detours into the scary instrumental thing is just really cool. I also think it's really catchy. I think there's a lot of songs on this album too. I'm probably gonna say it a lot. Is like a lot of it's just really catchy. And it's cool to have an album where there's a lot of songs that are catchy as well as complex and like trying a lot of different things. I feel like that's a hard thing to like find that middle ground on, and they find it a lot. Like even on a song that we're talking about being near the bottom of the list here is still doing that for me, and I love it. However, I do wish it was longer. I just feel like I'm losing out on what could be like a long banger, and instead it's a short banger.
I can get behind that. And I definitely agree. Like that was kind of one of my overarching notes for the whole album is like they managed to simultaneously hit this like this vibe of like being super catchy and yet like super complex, and that's a thing that is so rare because it's usually one or the other, right?
Yes,
but
100%.
They managed to like ride the line, and I don't know how because it shouldn't be possible, but they do it, and it's incredible. I will say I kind of want Scary Movies to be above Eat You Up.
I do too.
Okay. Because I think like Scary Movies, like it's short, but like they just have some really fucking fun riffs in that song, and like it keeps kind of like bouncing back and forth between like the guitar and the bass, and it's just like it's so slappy, it's so funky. I really love it. And I think that like Eat You Up is also really good. I have no like negative things against it. I just like it didn't do anything like super special that like stood out to me. I didn't even really have a lot of notes on this one, other than kind of the same things that I put for every song, where it's like the layering on the vocals is like god tier, and like the instrumentals are just doing some really fun stuff. But like you get that in every song on this album. Like a really big strength of this album is the vocal layering, in my opinion. Like the way that they record the dude like singing in a bunch of different registers. He's like harmonizing with himself. He's doing like little undertone things like throughout. It's super cool, super impressive. I love how they did it. But I think since that's like my only real note on Eat You Up, and I have that note on every song, that might I think that for me is gonna put it below Scary Movies, personally.
I can agree with that, because even though Scary Movies is like shorter, it feels like there's just like more in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, because it's kind of like they're pulling a DGD here, where they have a song that's good that I wish was longer, compared to like Eat You Up and Who Do You Know Here, which I don't want to hit them with this, but I feel like both those tracks are kind of filler, because like they really don't do much, even though like they do keep like the overall theme of the album going.
Mm-hmm.
But they're still good tracks though. Like I still like listening to them.
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, like before we move on, because I don't disagree. I'm outvoted, so like I'm fine with it. Because I don't feel too heavily one way or the other. I just wanted to make a note about Eat You Up that I really did enjoy. I feel like more so than in other songs, they do it a lot, but in this song a lot, I could really feel like that really cool layering and the way that they like to just give the lead singer like the opportunity to just do these crazy things with the vocals. I feel like in this song, in the verses, the instrumentals are almost purposely like punchy and kind of like allow like the actual lyrics and the vocals to kind of like dance in and out of like these punchy moments, and then those carry over to the chorus, but then the instrumentals also do something to accompany him in the chorus, and it's this really cool back and forth kind of thing that I really like. It's pretty like common sense to do that, I feel like, in general, but the way that they do it just feels so good, especially with how much they do focus on the harmonizing of the vocals in the chorus, or in the verses rather. It then adds so much to them in the chorus when the vocals get soaring a little bit more on like those main themes. You know, I just think it's really well put together. However, I think that's a cool back and forth thing. I think every moment in scary movies, though, is just funkalicious, and
Yes.
that's
definitely.
but I think
Yes.
that like just that really good vibe and the grooviness of that song, I think outweighs those cool moments in Eat You Up to me. So what are we
Cool.
thinking?
So
boys?
we're gonna lock those in. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah.
Who do you know is 11? Eat You Up is 10. Scary Movies is 9.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah.
Cool. We have 8 left. Where the fuck do we go from
Jesus.
here?
Those are the first three
Those were
easy.
the only ones that I was like, these might be at the bottom. The rest, I do not fucking know. I love all of these songs so much.
There is only one other song that just didn't really strike me as much as others, and whether that's just personally or not, I'll let that let you guys judge on that as well. But it was Sails, the acoustic one near the end.
Gotcha.
And it's not like the song is bad at all. Like, it's very good. It's very pretty. It's very cool in what it does. But it's one of the songs that kind of suffered from something that I saw happen a couple times in the album, where parts of the song just go on a really long time in certain songs, and in some songs where the energy is really high, it doesn't feel that stagnant at times. But with this one, there's the moments where the ohs kind of go on for a long time, especially near the beginning of the song.
Wow.
That I kind of feel like it loses that momentum at times. It's not necessarily it's not really bad, because like obviously that comes back in again at the end to be like that really big driving theme. But I don't know, it just overall, I thought the whistly bit, that's a positive note for it. The whistly bit that he does in the later half of the song, I really liked. And I just think having an acoustic break on the album's a really good idea. Especially when you have something with Yvette Young to then even do it even more broken down, I think is cool. I didn't really expect that. I thought maybe that Yvette Young song was going to be like the torn down moment on the album, if you will. The fact that he still went for it with this is cool, and I really like it. I'm kind of glad he did it, because it kind of gave his vocals a moment to shine in a solo moment that I really did enjoy. However, I just think overall, compared to other songs in the album, it just didn't strike me as much. Like I don't feel like I'm ever going to come back to it as much as I will the other 7 songs on this album, which is crazy to say, but I'm for real. Like every other song above this one, even some of the ones below it, I feel like I'd even come back to more. Like Scary Movies, like every Halloween, I'm gonna pop that bad boy in and just
hell yeah.
It's fair.
It's gonna be a blast.
I do think that I do think you're right. I think Sales, like I have to be in a more specific mood to like fully enjoy it compared to like the rest of it, just because it's such a different vibe. But like they do such a good job with it.
They do, for sure.
And like I do think that you're right. I think this is probably going to be next, just because like I don't think I could justify putting this over any of the other songs, because it does not sound like the rest of them. But like I did have like a ton of positive notes about this though. Like
Go for it.
I was like I was really shocked that like even after the Yvette Young song, they had one that was even more stripped down, and I was like, oh, okay, like I thought that was going to be like the most stripped down point, and then we're just taking that like another level, and I really like respect that they did it, and I really enjoyed the song, especially since they sprinkle in some brass there in like the one part. I'm like, I'm all about it. I love when bands like, and if you've watched our reviews, like I love it when bands bring in just like instruments you would not expect and like blend them in seamlessly. And they do that a lot in this album. Like this is not
Really
the
do.
only time
Oh, yeah.
where we get hit with like brass and like saxophone and shit. Like it happens a lot, and it makes me so fucking happy. And
It's
this
so
is just one of
good.
those instances. So yeah, I think this song is really impressive that they managed to do a song in this style and pull it off so well. But I can agree. I think that everything else on the album is probably objectively better.
Yeah.
Brennan, you in the same boat?
Yeah, because
Same
it's
sailboat.
damn good. I'm in the sales boat.
Damn it.
So I mean, it is a really good acoustic song, but that's just what it is. Like, I do feel like it is superior to the three that we already have in the list, but it's just, I mean, every other song in here just brings something like powerful and fucking like right in your face. So I mean, I don't know. I can agree with that though. This probably deserves number 8.
Yeah, number 8.
I will say,
So.
before we move on from it, to kind of go off of a point that you made, Tyler, the fact that they do bring in the horns and these random instruments is really cool. But something that these guys do that most bands don't do or aren't willing to do is throw them in as like the smallest little accent moment. Like
Right, yeah.
and it's so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Like whenever a band usually leans into the horns, they lean into it to be like the main theme, like the main thing they dance around. They always are there, or they are there in every chorus. Whereas with this song and a couple other times on the album still, it comes in as like this little moment. Like it's just literally like the cherry on top near the end of the song that they bring in the horns, and it's like, oh fuck, dude. Like it's so cool that they're willing to like bring them in to play a couple notes and then be like, you made it.
Yeah.
And it just feels so good. It's such a
Your
good
15
attention
seconds
to
of fame are up.
It really is. It's awesome.
I'm so glad you mentioned that, because like I literally have that like in my notes where I'm like, a lot of bands, they use that as like the focal point of the song when they bring that in, and that's great. But like the fact that they are taking it and they're like, we're just gonna like use this as an accent on like what's already going on to just kind of like boost up what we're already doing. Like it's so fucking cool. They do it so effectively, and I just love it. Like it just makes me so fucking happy anytime it happens. This album, it's so great.
It's awesome, dude. I fucking love it.
Speaking of things we fucking love, is it time for a round of tabling?
Kind of feels like it, huh?
I wanna
'Cause
go- I wanna go
don't-
first.
I really don't know where to go.
I want to go
with this.
first. I want to go first.
All right, Brendan, go first.
Watching all your friends get rich.
Yes.
Holy fuck.
Yes,
Do it.
dude.
Yes.
Kyle?
That damn.
I have to go with On.
All right, that's what I was gonna do.
That's
so-
another bop. Yeah.
We've done the two that I wanted to be done, and I'm content.
Fuck.
I'm a content
Oh,
man.
now the pressure's on me. I don't even
Yeah,
know.
really. I'm curious to see what you pick now.
You know what? Just because Right Through Me was the first single they released that blew my socks off initially, and it was my single of the month for whatever month that came out on our other podcast, I'm gonna table that one out of respect.
Damn. All right.
Respect.
All right.
It is a good bop.
I
Yeah.
would have personally tabled a different single, but that's okay. We'll
It's
get to
fair.
that later.
I'm so torn. I just went with my gut, and that's what it was. You picked you picked On, and that was my like default one that I
Yep.
was gonna table, and then I was like, well,
Because you know
that
how
was
we were
my
just
that
talking.
was like my sure shot. I don't know now.
You know how we were just talking about how it's really cool and they add a little horn in. I also love it when they make it the main thing.
Yeah, they had a lot of horn into that one,
and it works.
They had a lot of everything into that one.
We'll talk about that a lot later, though. I don't know about that one just yet. All right.
So we were left with Danger, Another Night Alone with You, Slow Bloom, Move It or Lose It.
Fuck, dude.
Ooh.
Fuck,
You know
I
what?
do not know.
That's
It
a
kinda
murderer's
sucks 'cause
row.
I'm leaning. I'm immediately leaning a certain way, actually, with this.
Yeah,
And
Hit us
it's
with it.
not. It's because I love three of them so much, and the other one I like a lot. And I don't know if it's just like a personal thing, but Move It or Lose It immediately stands out to me amongst this crowd.
interesting.
I think the other three blow me away, if I'm being honest with you. And this one I love and I have a really good time with, and I think it's an absolute bop. But I don't think it hits the blow my socks off level of incredible to me. That's just me though. Does a lot of things really well. I think like, especially for me, because like going to this album today, like I was saying before, I was just kind of like about like starting to listen to it. I heard the song and it immediately pulled me in. I was like, whoa. And then Right Through Me hit. I was like, whoa. And then I started listening. And then that's when I got to Watching All My Friends Get Rich. And I was just fucking yes, and it was just, but so like Move It or Lose It, it's just so cool because like it was like kind of my first moment into this album. It's the first moment for everybody into this album. My first, I guess what I should say is my first moment into this band, other than the time you showed me the single. But like this,
you forgot about it, so
I forgot about it, so it was like my first time. Yeah, you know what I mean. And for it to start out with like this cool plucky guitar riff, these vocals coming in, like immediately kind of impressing me, and it just doesn't stop. Like, you know, it just keeps building. It's one of those songs that I just feel like the pacing in is just really strong. It does it well in literally every other song on this album from here on out. But the pacing and the momentum that they have, and they just like keep pushing, is so good. The layering, I feel like on this song also like sets like a good like bar for them to just continuously hop as they continue on this album, to just continuously give us these crazy vocals layered, these crazy cool instrumentals layered. And the note I made for this for this song specifically was I love that the instrumentals in this whole track are really interesting the entire time in the way that they're layered. Especially it is chaotic and beautiful at the same time, and that's like kind of what the entire album ends up being described as in my mind, is chaotic and beautiful, because they're able to take so many cool things, blend them all over the place, layer them in a cool way, take their vocalist and be like, here, let's make you like 7 people. And then it's just really good. And it's like so cool. I love it. And I really appreciate this song for like being that kind of like gateway into this really awesome, chaotic and beautiful thing. But I do think it just gets better from here. Like in a lot of ways, not every way. Obviously it's not the bottom song on the album, but does what it does extremely well. It gets me really hyped for the rest of this album. But like, ooh, man, those other 3. Ooh.
Brennan,
that's just how I feel.
Where are you at with this?
Curious to see.
I can agree with that. Because I feel like Move It or Lose It is more of like an opening and like a setting the stage of what's to come.
For sure.
Especially with Right Through Me and Watching All Your Friends Get Rich, like immediately following that.
Yeah.
Like 2 songs that I think are, 2 of the stronger songs on the record. Because it's like Kyle said it best, like it sets a bar, and then that bar is immediately surpassed, and then for me that bar is immediately surpassed once again, and it's just like damn, like they couldn't have put this song in a better spot. I think it's definitely the best opening they could have picked out of the bunch. I mean, like pretty much all the other songs I think slap. And like Move It or Lose It's just like a really good setup. Like it's not a bad song at all. Like I'll definitely jam it like by itself, but it's like, I mean, like Veil of Maya and Yvette Young, like
Come on,
for
like,
real though. For
like
real
two,
though.
2 artists that I greatly respect, and the features are sick. Like that and like Slow Bloom. Like Slow Bloom's just a great track also, but
Yeah.
I mean, Move It or Lose It, it's gotta be next.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that, because a lot of my notes when I'm going back and like looking at this is like me basically just being blown away by like the overall like sound, like the crazy amount of layering, the crazy amount of like intricacy and like little details, and just the way that they've like constructed the song. But like you said, literally every song just like takes that precedent and like adds to it and like does more with it. Maybe except for the songs we have under this, because this isn't the bottom, but like, but yeah, like I guess like after hearing that explanation, I can definitely get behind that. And like you said, those vocal features are nothing to sneeze at. Like those are some heavy hitters. That being said, do we want Slow Bloom to be immediately after? Because I feel like Slow Bloom, it isn't like necessarily as catchy to me as some of the other songs, but like I think it's kind of in a similar situation as Move It or Lose It, where it's like it's just very well executed. It's very complex. It has so much going for it. It's basically just Move It or Lose It, but like taken a step further, right?
That's fair.
Like they add some more heft to it. They add a lot more to like tear into. They add fucking saxophone, so immediately I'm gonna love this song, because we all know where I stand when the fucking reeds come in and just start tickling my ears. It's a good time, and there's a lot to love with this song. But I don't know. I think the vocal features, or the features in general, but the other two songs bolster that a little bit more for me.
Okay.
But it's very close.
So, I want to sell you on Slow Bloom because this would have been the single I would have put like on the table, like tabled. Yes, that's the one I'm thinking of. Slow Bloom knocked my socks off. It's finally time. We're here. So you know how we were talking about how like the Yvette Young song we thought were like, oh, maybe this is gonna be the stripped down song on the album, and then it ended up being Sales, where like it was just like just him, acoustic, some like chanty bits, and that was really cool. This song starts out kind of like pulled back, you know, like it kind of has like that, like the effect, the echoey effect on him. And it does the roller coaster so fucking well. It builds up to such a great place, and then fucking saxophone comes in, and I'm like, oh my god, dude.
I mean, you're not wrong.
It's such a
you're
good
really painting
fucking
a picture
time,
here.
dude. And oh my god. I feel like something that I really like about the song, and it's something that gets me, it's just like a style that some bands will do a song like this in, and I love it, is putting like this really cool intense chorus instrumentally next to these like really long open passionate vocals, because he is just like fucking wrenching for some of these vocals and these choruses, and every single time it gets to the chorus the instrumentals like slowly get up to that level to match that intensity from him to become like this really cool thing with this saxophone fucking going in the background all over the place. It's just such a great like objectively, it's written so well. Like, it is just so well done. It does, like, that build. It doesn't really do, like, a fall-off, I'd say. It just kind of keeps ramping up from, like, this kind of, like, thing that you're not expecting. Like, if you just gave me the beginning of, like, 30 seconds of the song and the last 30 seconds of the song, you wouldn't be able to convince me they were the same song at all. Like, it goes such a place. Like, it's nuts. I fucking love it. That being said, though, I also don't know if it beats the two features. I just wanted to spew about the song because it really impressed me. I love both the features as well.
I agree with literally everything you said. Like, I mirror all of that so much. But I don't know. Those other two songs, like, it's a heated battle. Brennan, where are you leaning?
Oh, man. Part of me kind of wants to put Another Night Alone with You beneath Slow Bloom. Because Kyle hit the nail right on the head. Like, it's a song that, like, I mean, the beginning of it almost sounds like a fucking top 40 song, but, like, they pull it off to where, like, you know, the instrumentals are very drawn back. You know, it's pretty much just like a bass line with him kind of, like, riding the vocal roller coaster over top of that. And it's just like, it's so tasty, it's so catchy. And then everything just like ramps up. Boom, we're into the chorus. Like, he's belting now. Like, the instrumentals have matched him. And then you hit like this long quell of, like, you know, another section where it's just bass line and him singing. Like, we talk about this a lot. We love songs that have like a building effect to them. And you know, the song is like the build and like a roller coaster. It goes up the hill, it goes back down the hill, it goes up the hill, and then it kind of like, I wouldn't say it like goes back down because it kind of like plateaus, but like, as Kyle said, like the first 30 and the last 30 are like completely different. But that's tough though, because like Yvette Young, such a good feature.
Can I try to sell you on Another Night Alone with You?
Hit me with it.
I really like this song. Yes, a lot of it is because Yvette Young is one of my favorite musicians of all time, like vocalist or otherwise. She is just incredible. But like, I don't know, man. Normally I don't try to like push for the slower, like lighter songs to be this high, but like this one just really does it for me. I think a lot of it is like, so you know how we've kind of talked about a lot how this album, it does this like really good use of like, they do a really good job of like layering the vocals over top of themselves, right? They'll like do these crazy things with like 7 of him at one time and everything. I think that the way they do it in this song is like a perfect way of like fully displaying this dude's range. Because in this song specifically, when he's doing like the chorus and stuff, there is like a track of his vocals that's like super deep, and it's just like all low end, and then like that plus like he can do like the falsetto shit, like you just get like the full range of everything, and it just adds so much to like the weight of the song, because it's supposed to be like this emotional, like I want to be with my bae type thing, you know? And like I just think that adding that much like depth and layering to the vocals to really make that like the standalone feature that like everything is kind of like centering around is this beautiful song, and you really want to pay attention to the lyrics, you really want to pay attention to the vocals in this song. So they're just like, we're gonna like go overboard with like the layering, and we're gonna do it in a way that it's gonna stand out even compared to some of these other songs. And then of course, like Yvette Young comes in, and her voice just blends so perfectly with his voice, and it's just like hearing the back and forth, hearing them like go together. It's just like, I don't know, it's crazy. It's like, it's just this beautiful cacophony of amazingness. It just gives me goosebumps. Like on a technical level, it's just so well executed. And like, I don't know. I personally think that it has like a little bit of an edge. I don't know if I want it to be next. But I also like all of these songs, and they all do everything so well that like I don't know. I think this one just it does its stuff in such a unique way compared to the rest of the album. And I think that is like worth mentioning. I think that is like a point in its favor. Kyle.
Yeah.
Man.
It looks like you're ready to say something.
No, I was really enjoying listening to you sell me on it, because I was surprised. I mean, like, I know you like the song. I know you've told me that before, but like earlier today. But I was really like surprised when you're like, I'm gonna stick up for the slower song. I was like,
I know, I never
said
do
no
that,
one
but...
ever. And it's kind of opposite, because I'm usually the one sticking up for the slower one, and you're the one who's usually sticking up for the opposite, and we swap places.
I'm usually the one shitting on your dreams when you're trying to like get these ones up at the top.
I will say that these songs back to back is really cool, because I was giving a lot of props to like the passion and the gut wrenching belting from him in Slow Bloom, to immediately come to this and him to be able to show off the fact that he can be really passionate in his lower ranges too.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful picture that they paint with this fucking song. I just feel like it is really cool. See, for me, back and forth, right, in my head between these two songs, because it's very close for me too. I know I gush about Slow Bloom, and you have nearly sold me on this one. In my head, this song stands out to me a lot. It really does create this beautiful, tender moment in a way that I didn't expect from everything I've heard so far on this album. I did not expect that from them. Whether that was like Yvette Young helping them, creating this beautiful picture with her beautiful harmonies, her beautiful instrumentals. I don't know. Slow Bloom, however, sounds like more like the home team to me, if that makes sense. I know we've kind of had that comparison with other bands before.
And I think point.
And it does knock my socks off. They both knock my socks off. So which one do I think gets the edge in that? And I don't really know. My brain and my heart is leaning me a little bit more towards Slow Bloom, but I don't know if it's ever been closer. And I know I say that almost every time we have a close battle, but I don't know if it's ever been closer, because it really is very back and forth for me.
Yeah. I think I'm going to shoot myself in the foot here by arguing with myself using my own argument from the past.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to do what I always do to you in these situations.
Okay.
Because you're always like, the slow song, man, it's fucking beautiful. It deserves to be higher. And I'm like, yeah, but I wouldn't want to hear them play it live compared to the other songs.
I actually don't know if that's the case for this one, though, because if Yvette Young came out and the two of them started doing this live on stage,
that'd be gorgeous.
It would be incredible.
I would cry.
Because I feel like because any song that has a feature on it, unless they're on the tour with them for some reason, you can't really expect, like a fucking Andrew Wells with Evaporate situation, you know? Like they're never gonna do Evaporate unless Andrew Wells is with them, you know?
Why did he actually join the band?
Did he
officially a member of the band now?
I don't know. I heard something about that.
I mean, anyways, honestly,
lit.
It would make sense. He's always on tour with them.
Yeah, he's literally always there. But anywho.
Yeah, let's get back to it. My bad, sidetrack.
I do feel like I'd really enjoy hearing this one live. It would be such a cool moment to like kind of break away. Mm-hmm. And another thing about this song that I don't know, you didn't really touch on as much, is that I love that the song starts out in this really tender place, like the whole first verse and chorus, and then the second verse comes in, and you hear like the normal instrumentals from this band kind of come in to accompany this really cool, tranquil moment.
Yeah.
And it gives it kind of more energy, you know, it kind of drives it a little bit more with the drums becoming a more centered focus and the guitars doing a little bit more in the background. And then for it then to strip back down for Yvette to join and then soar through the ending of the song is so beautiful. It's so well done. I talked about how much I love the roller coaster of Slow Bloom. I also think this song fucking nails it. It really is close. I know you were willing to shoot yourself in the foot for it, but I honestly will stop the bullet because I do think I'd love hearing this song live.
Fair enough. Well, I think that means, Brennan, you're going to be a tiebreaker. If I stick with my guns and he sticks with his...
And none of them are shooting feet, it's all you.
Yeah, this is your decision.
Well, it's time to figure out who I shoot. This one's so tough because they're like, and Kyle said like it's awesome that they're one right after the other. You go from a song where my man is belting and like hitting these really high notes, and like you could tell like his performance is just so full of like passion and like so much oomph. And then you come to Another Night Alone with You, where he's hitting like the low registers, and like you can tell he has like some power and some bravado there. Of course, like the Yvette Young feature, like how they're able to like bounce off each other and like, you know, come together. It's just like, ooh. This one's tough because Slow Bloom is like, it fits the album. Like it fits the overall vibe of the album better. But then like Another Night Alone is like totally like the perfect change up. Fuck, this one's tough.
It is like the song of the album and the departure from that song of the album, like
much.
side by side.
Oh,
It's like literally,
Yeah.
and like they're both done so well. And massive props to the home team and Yvette Young as well for being able to pull this off, because it's literally polar opposites and they're neck and neck, and that's so impressive to me that like it's that close.
You put a gun to my head. Like, because now in my mind, I'm thinking, which of these would I rather listen to, like, in the day-to-day?
Right.
Because, like, I feel like Another Night Alone with You has, like, not just a certain vibe, but has, like, multiple vibes I could, like, listen to it with. But, like, I feel like Slow Bloom's a lot more, like, versatile.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
So, I'm going to have to give it to Slow Bloom over top.
Fair enough.
For the first time, I'm sad that you sided with me, because I feel like I was gonna be sad either way, you know, because like I'm happy. It's bittersweet. It really is. I love both of these songs.
Yeah,
I literally want every.
If it could be like a 1 and 1A, because these two are like dead tied even for me.
I want these two songs and every song above it to all be one with like subcategories.
That's exactly how I feel too.
Yeah, we have 1 through 3, and then like 4A through D.
Yeah,
I just can't get over how fucking good this album is, man.
Really does blow.
Oh yeah,
it's just
really
so
nuts.
impressive. And it's making our job so difficult. Do we want Danger to be next, or do we want to try to put Danger over any of the ones we tabled?
No.
Okay.
Danger's next.
Okay, Danger's next. Let's talk about Danger a little bit, because we haven't really done that. Fucking, it's got Veil of Maya in it. What the fuck?
This blew my mind.
When I was looking at the fucking song list this morning, when I was listening to this for the first time, I saw it like it was cut off on my Spotify page. It just said Veil, and I was like, huh, what if that was Veil of Maya? Am I right? It's probably something complete. And I clicked on it, and it took me to Veil of Maya's page, and I was like, this can't be fucking right. How? What is this going to sound like? And it sounds really good. That's the answer to that. I was wondering if they were going to have just fucking gutturals in it and completely flip the script. They don't. They just have some like really fucking chuggy instrumentals on their part, and it works so well. This song just has like such a driving force to it that a lot of the other songs can't match, just because of the extra like girth that they're getting from our boys in Veil of Maya.
Oh yeah, bust out that 7-string, baby.
I've never heard of, who's also a feature on there. My bad for not
Jeff
giving
Loomis.
that guy the respect he is due. But man, just like tasty ass fucking riffs. It just keeps kind of going from like the heavy guitars to like the lighter, like slappier dance beat, and it just kind of keeps like going back and forth between them a lot. And I love that, where it's just the song is bouncing you around between these two very different vibes, and they just blend so well together. The extra vocals being tossed in here and there are just a really nice touch. And then, like, there's just a fucking, like, shredding guitar solo at the end. Like, this song just fucking, it's the longest song on the album, and, like, it does not overstay its welcome. Like, it's just constantly hitting you with shit, keeping you interested, keeping you invested. It's great. I really dig it. And then, of course, it fades out at the end, and that's slightly disappointing, but, yeah.
You don't have to side with me on that. If you want to have a different opinion, you're totally welcome.
Oh, no,
to.
I mean, like, I don't like when stuff fades out either. It just doesn't, like, piss me off as much as it pisses you off. To me, it's just kind of like, oh, well, I'm kind of sad this doesn't have an actual ending, but if that's how they want to end the album, like, that's fine, I guess.
Fair.
I don't know. How do you feel about this one, Kyle?
Man, oh fuck, I adore this song, dude. This song is so good. I think from like start to almost finish, I'm just so fucking enveloped in this insane fucking pace that they set from like the moment it starts. Like it is just like that fucking like dance rhythm almost that they create with the fucking guitars and the fucking drums just going like fucking everywhere. The fact that like the second chorus, the harmonies come in and it's just like so high. Like they have this entire album where the lead vocalist has been able to be like kind of like really passionate, like raw, raspy-esque highs and then falsettos. To have someone be able to do like the middle ground of it is like, whoa! Like it is just so cool to have that paired with the lead singer of this song. This song, dude, I don't even know what to say about it. Like, it actually blows my mind. I think the instrumentals on it are one of my favorites. And that's saying something. Sure. There's a couple above that I like a little bit more. I think I like it probably a little bit more than Right Through Me, personally. I'll leave that out there. But, I think I, like, the back and forth, because, like, wow, I don't even know what the fuck to say about this song. There's just so much rattling through my brain that I just can't pick one thing to let out, dude. I will say that I don't think it does the roller coaster quite in the way that some other songs do it on this album. I think that maybe was my biggest takeaway. And it's not that it does it bad, but it does kind of like start with this energy and just kind of dance around that energy instead of like climbing or like declining into something.
Sure. But it works in its favor, in my opinion.
It does. I think you're right. I think it does it. What it does extremely well.
Yeah.
And that's totally cool because like it just is there to rock fucking like it doesn't just knock your socks off. It takes your socks and lights them on fire and burns them in front of you. And it's so cool. I mean, like it makes sense because Veil of Maya is the feature on it. And that fucking guitar solo at the end. I mean, how? I mean, fucking, like, come on. Like, it's so good, dude. I just, like, I'm listening to it right now, and I'm just, like, in awe. Like, it's so well done. It is so cool. Instrumentally, it's just, like, a step above. Whether it's just because the home team is that good, the Veil of Maya feature also being there, the fact that their instrumentals, like, even bring it up another notch, maybe? I don't know. The fucking back and forth of the vocals blow me away. And you know what? I shouldn't even really say it doesn't do the roller coaster because it does like add cool things as it goes. So like it does like kind of heighten it over time too. Like God, man, the song really does it all. Like it just blows me away.
It's a good song.
I really like it. Oh fuck, dude.
Brennan,
kind of want to be third if I'm being honest with you, but I'm gonna leave that out there.
I mean, I won't fight that too much if you want to do that.
You want it to be right above, Right Through Me.
I kind of do. I just feel like, because like I guess we'll talk about Right Through Me first. But I want to know what you think about this song, Brennan, about Danger, before we move on.
I mean, I feel like when the Veil of Maya part really hits, and the song just gets like this extra like expanse and like extra thickness. I do feel like that takes it a cut above, like obviously a massive amount of this album, because it's like now we've seen them do a lot of complexity and a lot of different things throughout the album, but like this takes it to even a whole new level, because it's like not only do we broaden our horizons in our own genre, but it's like now we're even bringing in like, you know, thicker, fatter strings into this and just giving the song like the overall extra girth.
Yeah.
That and like the guitar solo is fucking wicked. Once again, like my only gripe with this song is the fade out. I feel like the only real song that's acceptable to do a fade out would be the end song, but to me it just feels cheap. Because like even like while the song was fading out, like you still even heard like more like guitar licks and fucking like solo-y shit going on in the background. It's like, dude, like it's the last song on the album. Why not just fucking like dish it out and then like just end it on like a really like just like a cool like series of notes and then boom, album's over. Cause right through me, damn, it was the perfect single to lead off with, because it shows like the vocalist capabilities. It shows that he's like totally willing to like be creative with how he delivers things. Cause like, I mean, in the songs we're gonna talk about later, like his delivery and his like timing and tempo and like his flow, and like incorporating that with his like note selection, like how he's able to just kind of like jump up all of a sudden and like be in falsetto or be like right below falsetto. Like to me, that's like fully on display with Right Through Me. Because a game like right off the start, like the first like beginning of like the real verse, like he just fucking steps up there and like the chorus, like he's all over the place. Ah, man, it's like, to me it'd be like the better vocal performance versus the better, like the difference in instrumentals is pretty much Danger versus Right Through Me.
Yeah.
But man, this one's tough because both of them are bangers, I think.
Yeah. I would say, to bring up like an argument that you used a little earlier, Kyle, I think that Right Through Me encapsulates the sound of the band a bit better. Because while Danger is fucking awesome and it's super cool that they have like the extra juice like chugging along in it, I do think that like Right Through Me is a better representation of this album as a whole, because it is more true to like the general sound. And I think that like you know, it's just it is like the perfect mix of like the thing we were talking about earlier, where it's like it's catchy and it's complex, just really fucking meshed. And like Right Through Me is catchy as fuck.
Yeah,
like
really is.
it is so catchy, dude. Like I don't know. I think, and plus due to the fact that we have like one very minuscule gripe with Danger, the fact that these are so close, I'm gonna say that like I'm gonna say Right Through Me has the edge, just based on that alone, because these songs are so good. If there's even one little minute thing wrong with one of them, that's what's gonna put it below for me. So
I could agree. You know, I mean, I was pushing for it because I was just vibing with Danger, and then we started talking about Right Through Me. I listened to Right Through Me, and I was like, God, this song is just so fucking good. You know, like, like it wasn't hard to sell me back towards Right Through Me being above it. I do think something that I will say that this is a good song to mention it on, is one of my main gripes with the home team in general is I don't enjoy, personally, when the vocalist sings like super high and just kind of gets raspy with it, kind of like lets it go at like some of the higher notes. He does that occasionally. Sometimes it works really well, like in a Slow Bloom when he gets like really passionate. I feel like it kind of works there a little bit more. Right Through Me though, he really is like pretty precise with that main chorus riff that he sings, like the high notes. He doesn't really let that happen as much, and to go from like Move It or Lose It to immediately hear him like taking like that care, that extra detail, I was like, ooh, oh, this is intriguing, and I liked it a lot. I do think it really does have that catchy and complex like balance that we were talking about. Some of the falsetto moments in it just fucking give me chills, and then chills upon those chills. The tambourine. Should I say anything else? That's it right there. It's a really good song. And I think with the small gripe that we do have with Danger, and the fact that I think the argument I made earlier, I knew you were going to say it the moment I started saying that Danger should be above it, is that this really is a good song to fully encapsulate the home team. I will say, though, the other two songs that are left, I think encapsulate it and then go so much further beyond. They literally go plus ultra, and it blows it. I love it.
Yeah, no, the other two songs are dude, smoke everything out. Like, vastly superior everything else. I fucking love both of these songs.
Before we move on, I'm totally down to lock in, even though it's close, Danger 4 and Right Through Me 3.
Agreed.
Fucking tight.
Fuck yeah. All right.
We're on to the top two. Who is going to take the number one spot? Who's going to be the runner-up?
Fuck.
Jesus Christ.
Really, truly could be a 1A, 1B situation, because...
This could be like a 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, like...
It really could. It really could.
There's so many songs that could take number one on this album. That's how good it is. These are the album reviews I love doing. When the album is so good that we just don't even fucking know how to do our goddamn job.
Yeah.
This is the best scenario. And kudos to you, Home Team, for not having a single dud on this entire album.
Facts.
Mad respect. But we have to decide between Watching All Your Friends Get Rich and On.
Fuck.
I want to start with On because I also wanted to table this one. Because it's short, but it fucking packs some heat in that short amount of time. This is the only song on the album where, like, every time I hear it, I've listened to this song so many fucking times at this point. Like, I can't stop listening to it. And every time, even now that I know what to expect, like, the first time it just, like, fucking blew my socks off because I had no idea what to expect. It just keeps coming at you with stuff. And, like, even now that I know what's in it, I can't help but just, like, fucking get down with it. Like, every time, like, every single time I listen to it, I'm, like, bobbing my head. I'm doing the stank face. I'm just getting... Oh, it's so good. It packs so much into every fucking second of this song. Like, the beat switches up like 30 seconds into it. Like, they waste no fucking time just fucking throwing you in a million different directions. It's... There's brass in it, man. They have fucking just brass blasts and shit. Like, what the fuck is this, man? It's so good. Like, it's one of those situations where they just take some random fucking instrument that should not even be in the genre of music, and they bring it in, and they're like, surprise, and then it just fucking blows your socks off, and it somehow works, and it's so good, and it just flips the genre on its head, and just like, I love it. This song does nothing wrong. The song does nothing wrong. And there's like the little like vocal scream thing where he like goes in the last chorus and he just hits like the what, like the super high note thing. And it's, oh my God, it's so good. The song just slaps so hard. The song just slaps so hard, guys. It's just, nothing slaps harder than this song. And it's so short, but I just want to like pump it into my ear holes constantly, consistently for the rest of the night. After we finish this, I'm gonna listen to it again because it's that good. It's such a jam. I love it.
There's one song I could argue that's better, but
Dude,
I like the other song too, but
I will say, earlier today, I told Tyler, I was like, there's a song that I listened to like 50 times off of this album. And then I drove to work and I listened to it 3 times. To the moment where I got to work, I turned it off. And 3 times on the way home. And I listened to it again as I was getting ready to record. And that was On.
hell yeah.
Outnumbered.
It is just fucking incredible. I literally, like, you kind of hit that nail on the head because, like, I'm surprised you were even to put some of this into words because I listened to On and it is an experience. It is literally like it's almost like it was written to like fucking tickle like all of our funny bones because
right.
like it has like the really cool horns that like have this really cool like swing and fucking beat. It has all the crazy change up tempo moments and rhythm changes that like We fucking love it. Has like the heavy moments. It literally even does the horns with like a really fucking chuggy moment there near the end. It's just like, oh my god, they're just not stopping. They don't know when to fucking stop until 2 minutes and 36 seconds hit, and then they do know when to stop. But oh my gosh, dude. And it's so cool because they even like bring it back down from time to time. Like going into the second verse, they kind of bring it back down to like a haunting place almost. And it's like so majestic, bro. And then it just immediately builds it back up to these horns. And like there's, oh my god. My Norton just popped up on my screen. Because it told me my protection has been updated. It needed to be after listening to something that fucking raw and disgusting. Oh my god. What a beautiful timing to just pop up on my screen.
It was if it ain't raw dog, then nah dog.
Dude,
fuck.
Norton saw the fucking beating I was taking from those fucking instrumentals, and it was just like, I have to protect you. I can sense it.
This song is so fucking nasty. It's a threat.
I legitimately... It's like one of the best songs I've heard this year. I'm gonna go that far.
Same.
Like actually.
Same.
Then I will immediately turn around and say Watching Your Friends Get Rich is also one of those songs that could be contention, one of my favorite songs this year.
Yes.
I was kind of like alluding to it earlier, but like I was saying how like, oh, I started this album, really wasn't paying attention. The fuck's the home team, whatever. And I listened to the first song, I was like, that's pretty interesting. And I listened to the second song, I was like, that's really good. And then I listened to the third song, and I was like, I'm in, dude. I've never been more in on something in my life. I want this to just continue forever. Fucking, dude. Watching My Friends Get Rich is so much like outside of the home team's vibe and the rest of this album, and so much in it at the same time. I don't really understand how they did it. Like they know how they really did blend like trying something different with their vibe, like in such like a beautiful, perfect way that like, I will say, here's something I'll throw out there. I think that this has the best vocals on the album. I will put that out there.
I can agree with that.
Well, Watching Your Friends Get Rich?
Yes, I will go that.
Down.
I will definitely go that far because some of the shit that he does, it's so good.
I want to dive in.
Yeah,
dude,
Brennan, you should be the one diving into this. You're the one who tabled it.
Dive into it yourself because you're the one that was like super in on this. You're the one that tabled it, so I won't steal the moment. You go for it, my guy.
First, let me play devil's advocate on.
Okay, fair.
It is definitely deserving of top 2, hands down. I will say, and it's interesting that they are back to back. On had, like, for me, On has a similar problem that Who Do You Know Here has, in the fact that it's literally the majority of the song is just the same chord progression, but they do it in this song absolutely correctly. Like, they dress it the fuck up. They put lipstick on this pig. Fucking the brass, like, it's, I mean, am I shooting a machine gun because there's so much fucking brass? Like, holy fuck.
That's incredible.
And they hit you with it. They hit you with it at the best times. Like you guys said, like, there's like a chuggy part, and like you hear it, it's like, ooh, and like the chord progression, like with Who Do You Know Here, it's just like it holds the song back. Like with this, like it's just the driving force, and it's like, and they bring so much around it. And like Who Do You Know Here, it's kind of like that's it. But like this song's just like, oh my god, give me so much fucking more. Like layers, like the vocals go off, the brass, fucking like how they like break it down and pick it back up. Like it's just insane. But Watching All Your Friends Get Rich. Listening to this album, so the first time I listened to it, I listened to Move It or Lose It, and I skipped right through me because I've heard that song a million times.
Right.
Watching All Your Friends Get Rich, hands down, bar none, has the best vocals on the record. The chorus, like even before the chorus, because like they start off the song kind of like with like the second part of the chorus, kind of like is the teaser for how the song's gonna go.
Mm-hmm. It's cool.
And like how the song like starts off and builds, because it's like you can tell like it's like building momentum, and just like the dude, like I said, he like, it seems like he effortlessly comes like into falsetto and out of falsetto, and then like the chorus hits, and like he starts off a falsetto, and like just like how he's able to like run with it, like with the tempo and like his note delivery, like I can't even like attempt to sing it, but like holy
Can't
fuck, like
even.
he does it like the first part of the chorus, like he has like that little bit like running shit like with like
Yeah.
the instrumentals, and then the part that they tease at the beginning of the song, they come back to you in the second chorus, the second part of the chorus with a fucking dance beat, and it's just like,
Yeah,
oh
man.
fuck, like they hit you with that, and then after the first chorus, immediately strip it down, like it's just the bass line with like some accent, but and even in the first verse, I totally forgot this, they even have some brass going on more as like an accent piece, and it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
it's
had
not
that in
the
my
focal
notes.
point, yeah. And it just adds like such a fucking wrinkle. And like once again, how they're able to like break it down after that like first chorus. In other words, just like the bass, you know, like some like accent guitars, like, and then his vocals just fucking everywhere. Holy shit! But I mean, just the chorus, it's like the catchiest thing I've heard like all year. And man, it's just, I mean, like the first time I heard this, I was like, hold up. Immediately played the song like 4 times through, and I'm like, okay, I need to actually listen to the rest of the record. And like after the second chorus, which I believe is like the final chorus, they like break it down to where like it's not chugs, but it's like, you know, like the guitar is like fucking like getting into it, like the tempo slowed a little bit, and like he's singing over it, and it's just like, ooh, like this is the complete package. Because, you know, Kyle said it best, like they step out of the out of the home team, and then but they stay right in it at the same time, because it's like, oh, like the rest of the record's the same, then they add like the dance beat, like the breakdown. It's like, ooh, fuck, like, like, because both of these songs are fucking experiences. But I mean, watching Her Friends Get Rich is my favorite, like definitely one of my top 5 songs of the year, easy. Like this song fucking rips. But
Hell yeah, dude. I agree with everything you said. This is so close. I don't know which one to pick, dude. Like,
fuck. I mean, but it is like On, because like even though I have that one gripe about On, I think that it just comes out because the song right before it like actually is that gripe, with the fact that like they don't add anything other than that like chord progression, and like the song suffers because of it. But with On, like it's that chord progression, and like they throw the fucking kitchen sink at you with like everything else, and it's just like, this is how this should be done. Like, Who Do You Know Here feels like fluff. On feels like a masterpiece. It's like, even though they're kind of constructed similarly. While Watching Your Friends Get Rich is just a fucking bop. It doesn't sound like anything else, and the vocals just are insane.
I'm gonna throw out a piece of reasoning to try and justify putting one over the other.
Okay.
Maybe with it.
And it's gonna be similar to an argument that I used in the last 2.
Oh, cool.
Oh, jeez.
Which song encapsulates the album as a whole? Which song like encapsulates the band as a whole in its current state? I think it's Watching All Your Friends Get Rich.
See, I've
because
actually
I think
been...
that On does so much shit, and it does everything so well. But I feel like Watching All Your Friends Get Rich is also somehow like a little bit closer to like the general vibe that this album sort of like constantly gives off, like the mix between the catchiness and the dance beats and the complexity and the vocal insanity. I feel like it is just the complete package for all that. And while On is a fucking masterpiece, like no questions asked, I do think that if we're thinking about it in that sense, that Watching All Your Friends Get Rich would have a slight edge, just because I think that it is a better representation of the entirety of the album. So that's the logic I'm going to land on to try to settle this.
Fuck.
Because I've been
That's a
thinking
tough
that too. And while I can see what you're going for, I also think that On does a very good job at doing those things too. I don't know if they're the forefront of a song like it might be in Friends Get Rich. Because I do feel like some of those things you mentioned, like the vocals and stuff, maybe are like super front, like super focused on in those pieces. Whereas I think maybe the instrumentals do kind of share more of a moment in the sun in On. But I do think that On also does like so many cool things. Like it does like the cool instrumentals. It does like the really cool growth and like the breaking down of instrumentals as it goes into the second verse. It kind of strips down and does something more like slower. I shouldn't say slower, but like more like stripped down, kind of exposed. It has incredible vocal moments and it's still all over the place in it. I know it's not to the level of Friends Get Rich, but I do think it's still extremely well done. And then the opposite way, I think the instrumentals in Friends Get Rich does not hit the levels as it does in On. So I think they're in my head, they're deadlocked because like they're literally like the opposites, like that they're doing extremely well.
Yeah.
And to me, I think that On just does it so perfectly, like in every way. And I totally can see your argument, Brennan, of it being like the it kind of being like one thing over and over. But see, like they do like that main riff in the horns and then just kind of like build and dance around it in such a beautiful and such a smart way. Like that it just continues to grow it. It even brings it down for a moment, pulls it back up above it, and then is able to end it in such like just a beautiful like boom, like moment, closes it out. Oh, God, I just feel like, I don't know. I'm really leaning towards On. I totally like 100% agree, Brennan, with all of your arguments about Watching All Your Friends Get Rich. I fucking adore that song. It is one of the best songs I've heard this year, but I think On is just a slightly better song. It's super impressive. They're both on this album. Like both these songs are some of the coolest things I've listened to all year. Which is weird because like I'm a vocal guy, so usually I'm like leaning more towards the vocal thing, but like I cannot deny the fucking feeling I get when hearing On. Like it is hard to turn my head away from something that is just that fucking good. I will.
This is the hardest top two we've ever had.
I think it might
hands
be
down.
I'm gonna like settle in my camp with On. I definitely think that I could see it going the other way too. And from what it feels like, I think Brennan's leaning is gonna land in his camp of
Watching All Your Friends Get Rich is the best song on this album.
I had a feeling. I'm gonna leave it up to you, Tyler. I am not disappointed either way.
On so fucking close.
It is fucking close.
I don't want this put on me.
You're the one who decided to play devil's advocate, make an argument to make it harder. So it's your fault. It's all you.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
No, you're not. You can't. That's so.
I am. I literally can't pick.
That's even worse than fading out an
being decided by
album.
fate. I'm passing this off.
God.
No, you
This is being
can't.
decided
That's
by
so
fate.
lame.
Jesus Christ himself is going to decide what the best song on this
No,
album is.
it's so
It is out of my hands.
lame.
I
Jesus
can't do it.
Christ.
I can't pick.
I think that's worse than fading out a song at the end of an album is flipping a coin. Please don't flip a coin. Please just pick one and go to sleep angry either way. Like
Go to sleep fucking pissed. Your gut. What's your gut telling you?
Thinking. I wanted to table On earlier. I'm going with On.
Oh!
Fair. Yeah. Fair enough.
Whoa!
I'm going against the point I just made like 5 minutes ago. I'm just gonna go with On. I can't. I don't know.
Fair enough.
I feel like this is the second time we've done
Home
this.
team, your album is too good. Your album is too good. I can't do it. There is no definitive best song. We're gonna say for the purposes of this video that it's On.
We just did this.
It's just
with Idola
everything.
Too.
It's just the album is just everything. Everything is great. It's too good.
We literally just did this with Caustic Prayer and Empty Gardens with
This was even closer than that though, which is saying something.
I think it was.
Because man, did I think that was going to be the toughest call we had this year, and then we get hit with this like a month later, and I don't know. This album impresses me. It's too good. It is too good.
It really is.
I guess we're done. I guess we've done it.
Wow.
This
is
damn.
I think this is the closest one we've ever done. I feel like every time we say this so many times, they're like, this is the closest one we've ever done. I think this is legitimately the closest one we've ever done. As far as like a top 2 at least.
Yeah, fuck. I can't remember the last time it's been this tight.
I know. It's like the pink elephant debate, but we're happy.
Yeah.
We're not fucking at each other's throats.
It also helps that we're not all in a
each
camp.
There's
only 2
We're in like a
camps
totally
instead of 3.
different camp.
Yeah. Oh, man. All right.
Wait.
Oh, are you going to say something, Kyle?
Yeah. No, I'm thinking.
Go on.
Oh, jeez.
I know that, like, we don't usually do this. Can I change my final vote?
They're changing it.
Damn.
Can
Wow.
I actually?
Fuck.
I know this is kind of like
that,
not
and
what we
now
do.
you're just like, nah, never mind.
I know. Well, because like you picked on, right? And I was surprised. You saw my surprise, my shock. You can fucking replay it if you want, or if you don't want to, it's fine. Or you just back it up in the video and look at my shock. I was shocked because I really did think you were to pick the other. And the more I think about it, I think it deserves it. I really do. As much as I adore On, I've listened to it like a billion times today. Watching All Your Friends really does like just perfectly encapsulate this album. I know this is kind of like, this is jank and we don't do this, but I haven't felt good since you said On. I haven't.
Wow.
I'm
well,
like,
then
wow.
I guess we know that's where you're what we actually want then.
I think it is. I really think it is.
A reaction like that to tell us what the correct answer was.
I think everything that Brennan said was so true. And like listening to it since you picked On, it just, I don't feel like it's right. I kind of feel like we have to go with Watching All Your Friends Get Rich. It does everything. It really does. And I was trying to like fight for On. I was just like, whoa, like it does this and it does this and it does that. I'm not saying I lied. But, like, I can't deny, Watching All Your Friends does it more. Like, it really does. The vocals absolutely kill it. The fucking instrumentals are so cool. Even in the last 30 seconds, it kind of goes back to, like, that normal home team thing where, like, it kind of drops, like, that dance speedy thing and keeps doing the chorus in, like, a normal, like, kind of, like, punky instrumental that they normally do. It's just so cool. It's so cool, man. I have to go with it. I have to change my vote.
I am happy and fine with this.
Cool.
Yes.
Cool.
I'm glad that you became the tiebreaker so that it wasn't me.
You're welcome. I put you through hell just to be like, psych, it didn't matter.
Yes. All right. Well, it has taken us a minute to get to this point. So I'm going to wrap this up quick and head on out. So here is the official ranking of this absolutely magical experience of an album, Slow Bloom. At number 11, who do you know here? Number 10, Eat You Up. Number 9, Scary Movies. Number 8, Sales. Number 7, Move It or Lose It. Number 6, Another Night Alone With You. Number 5, Slow Bloom. Number 4, Danger. Number 3, Right Through Me. Number 2 is On. And number 1 is Watching All Your Friends Get Rich. Jesus fucking Christ, that was difficult. But you know what? All I want to do after doing this review is listen to this album again.
Yep.
So
for sure, dude.
I'm already listening to
it. And if you at home have not listened to this album yet, you've watched this entire thing, and I know you're out there because there's always at least one of you. Please go and listen to this album. I don't care who you are. I don't care where your musical tastes lie. This is a masterpiece of an album. It is a fucking delightful time, and it's worth it. It's worth the time that you're going to take to listen to it. It is one of the best records of the year, hands down. Hands down. I will be talking about this when we get to our top 5 albums of the year. I don't know if you guys will. I definitely will. At some point, it's in there.
We shall see.
No question, no contest.
Yeah.
And if you want to be notified when that video goes live in December, then maybe you should go ahead and subscribe to the Talks A Lot Boys. Go ahead, go down there, diddle that button. Just diddle it real good. Get subscribed. Then you'll know when other album reviews come out, when our albums of the year will come out. Anything that we do is going to come out. You know, that's how you know. You ring the bell, I'm told. That's the thing you do. If you enjoy this video, give it a like. That really helps us out. Fucking ratio the shit out of our hater. Because I find that hilarious.
Ratio that motherfucker.
To those of you that have, fuck yes. To you that put the bad comment, fuck you.
And please leave a comment below letting us know what your personal rankings are for this album. We always love to see it. Always love to see everyone's opinions. I apologize to anybody expecting us to have done the Dawn Broker review instead. That will probably still be coming out at some point. Our schedules are just kind of crazy right now. And we only had time to do one today, and this fucking deserved it by a landslide. So, yeah.
The smokes Dawn Broco.
Yeah, for sure. So, that's going to do it for us for now. We have been Talks All Boys, and we will talk a whole lot more next time.